So the site was cleared about 6 weeks ago, and the first steel beams started going in the posts around about that time. What the contractors are doing is they're moving from the south to the north this time. So starting at the southwest corner here in the south stand, we're still on the steps in front of the Heineken Lounge, moving all the way to the far end to the Gatio. What's slightly different this time is the steel's going in, quickly followed by the concrete rakers and the seating decks. So it's a bay of steel built and then a bay of concrete put in as they go from south to north.
Yes, because with the south stand we saw the steel framework, the kind of Meccano set, go up first, and then the seating decks were lowered into place. But this is taking shape so quickly because above your head we can see those seating decks in place and just how high this stand is. Yeah,
it's a completely different proposition, and this is phase 3, if you like, of the build. The south stand and the remodelling of the dolmen was far more complicated. Here the contractors get a free run at it. They've got a totally sealed site. We're not having to come in and out of that site for operational reasons, so they're able to build this in a much more traditional way, which is steel plus concrete as they work their way across the pitch.
And as I said, it's going along quickly. We're looking at the completion of the steel work sort of by early New Year?
Yeah, weather permitting, then steel should all be up around about Christmas, New Year time, with the terracing following that quite swiftly. Hopefully they'll have the building weather tight by the end of February, and then they can start work inside.
And talking about the work in the next month, so during November we'll also look simultaneously at this steel truss being built along the front of the West Stand, similar to how we saw with the Dolmen Stand.
Yeah, it's similar. Obviously we were building that in between matches, but obviously it was interfering in a sense with sight lines. Here, again, the benefit of having a completely clean site is the contractor's got plenty of time to do that without interfering with people's enjoyment of the game. It's a very big structure. But it will be lifted in exactly the same way that the truss on the Dolmen Stand was, construct it on the ground and then lift it up on hoists when it's done.
I know a lot of fans, when they come down on match days, and particularly for the, say, Fulham game at the end of the month, are going to come here and see quite a dramatic difference, because we were all getting quite used to a big gaping hole here in the West Stand.
Yeah, it is quite disorientating. It happens. It's all of these things. They take an age to get going. There's a lot of site clearance to be done. Anyone who's been an observer of this from up here in the south stand will have seen the drainage going in, the groundworks. Not much is happening, and then suddenly steel starts to go up. In a matter of a couple of months, the frame goes up. It's just the nature of these type of construction contracts. It goes in fits and starts.
And just finally, talk us through some of the dimensions that we're thinking of in the West Stand. I mean, it is huge, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we can see behind me now the top tier of the West Stand. The first concrete terracing's gone in, and that'll give everyone a feel for what it will be like to be sat at the back of that stand looking down on the pitch. Obviously the roof then raised a few metres above that, but ultimately I suppose that not everyone will try to do this, but the best way to look at this is to, if you go up to Dundry and now look down off Dundry Hill and look down at the stadium, you can start to see this structure happening for the first time. And I think as it takes shape and as that roof goes on, then this iconic structure will be seen from a long way away, which is what we wanted.